Now we got some latest news and rumors here on Chat Sports. And the first one we're going to kick the show off with is around DeSean Jackson's injury. So, Tom, break it down for me. What's going on with
He needs core muscle surgery. Apparently, Mitch, this is an abdominal muscle, by the way, because I know that no one knows what core muscle is, even though it's constantly used for sports injuries. Tore it clean off the bone, which I'm no doctor. That sounds incredibly painful and not fun, and he is going to miss at least 6 weeks. I've seen some 4 to 6, but week 6 makes a lot more sense, and at that point, I don't know if he comes back at all this year. If I were a betting man, and I am, I don't think you see DeSean Jackson back on Philadelphia.
The question I have is, if you don't have any muscle on your abdominals, can you tear it off the bone?
I'll go experiment.
That's such a good answer. Appreciate you. So this is what the Eagles are going to be working with now on the wide receiver depth chart. You got to ask Alshon Jeffrey, who's actually kind of dealt with some injuries of himself. Nelson Aguilar, is he going to be able to hang on to the football?
Can he put his arms out and not gator arm it?
Hollins and then J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Definitely, I think, hinders, but also you got to consider the fact that probably the best receiver on that team plays tight end in Zach Ertz. If you want to get into another debate on who's the best tight end in the NFL, I think you also got to throw in Zach Ertz. Now let's go to New York, shall we? Is Adam Gase on the hot seat? I'll tell you what, he frickin' better be.
This might surprise you guys, but the coach who wasn't very good in his last stop is also not very good in his new stop. I don't know why the Jets thought anything else. Like, I just don't understand how New York could look at Miami and go, the guy who traded away all of his good players and wasn't a good coach, we got to get him.
We got to get
Like,
that
I
guy.
know there's kind of a dearth of great NFL head coaching options. Dearth. It means lack.
Thank you.
But Adam Gase was just a terrible idea. Now
Dan Greco says lava seat Gase.
And this is the really awkward part for the Jets, because this is how bad teams stay bad. You have a GM, Mike McGagnon. You fire your head coach.
Yes.
You then allow that GM with the new head coach in lockstep to make your personnel decisions, make your free agency moves, and make your draft calls. Then you fire that GM and install a new GM who didn't come in with the head coach. The Dolphins have done this for years. You have stability in the wrong way. If you're going to reset everything. Don't change 50%, because then you still got 50% of crap with you, and that's the Jets right now. Fire Adam Gase. Let Joe Douglas pick his own head coach, because I'm sure he doesn't want Adam Gase.
Yeah.
Look, he has not been good. You can't lose to the Dolphins. That's embarrassing. Gase might say you can't be embarrassed by it. Yes, you can be. It's bad. He's got to go.
All right, Tom. So what NFL coach will be fired next? I see in the comments, who's the worst coach out of Kitchens and Gase? I would say right now those are easily the top 2 coaches that I personally would get rid of.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn's got to be up there too.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All those guys need to be going soon. There was a comment here from Rubes Magoob, says Adam Gase, and I'm going to botch the last name. I always pronounce it Rich Quixote. I know that's not how it's said. The former Jets-Eagles guy, that's him 2.0. That is a perfect analogy.
Okay.
Failed at a different job, and then Jets are like, what will be different this time?
So Soko says Kitchens. Jared also agrees with Freddie Kitchens. Adam Gase. Jason Garrett, laugh out loud. You did say losing to the Jets is embarrassing.
Clay Helton, we said NFL, not college.
Appreciate it. Hey, we also do college football here.
Fire
Stuff, though.
Clay.
Make sure you guys subscribe, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Let's go to Le'Veon Bell. And is Bell injured? He's been kind of playing like he's been injured.
This
is
is not the first time that Lev Bell's had an MRI on his knee, but he did get an MRI today. I have not heard the news on how, if there's any type of injury there, but he's being evaluated. It is concerning, though, for the Jets. This is a guy, by the way, that you shopped at the deadline. You can claim you didn't, but, I mean, you shopped.
You think this is one of those where, like, now I'm hurt?
I don't think so. I don't think that's Bell's attitude necessarily, as long as he's getting paid. Like he's
I was just going to say, I mean, the dude literally just sat out
paid,
an entire
so it's fine.
season.
But he wasn't getting paid there. The Steelers, by the way, funny enough, did call about trading for him. And they were worried about James Conner. Then they got the news that Conner wasn't going to be that bad, but it's just awkward. And I think he'll be okay, but if you have Lev Bell in fantasy, maybe keep an eye out for Ty Montgomery. If we don't hear news by Tuesday, maybe go ahead and,
I mean, Ty Montgomery also, I thought, actually looked pretty good this preseason. I know he was a sleeper for a lot of people that were out there in fantasy football. I'm not the biggest Ty Montgomery fan. However, if the New York Jets right now, I mean, they literally could actually have the first overall pick. I mean, if the Bengals go out.
Tank, baby, tank.
I mean, it's something that's going to be pretty interesting. Who's the worst team in the NFL? Throw that.
Who wins the fight, tank versus jet?
Who?
A tank versus a jet.
I think a tank would win.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I've played a lot of GTA, and the tanks always beat the jets. So.
Oh boy. All right, go to BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. What do you mean you play GTA?
Grand Theft Auto 5. You could jump into the military base and steal.
I didn't know what it was.
Steal the.
I don't play video
airplane.
games. I actually bet and I watch sports shows. So I go to BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120 for 120% deposit bonus. Okay. So once you guys put down $50, you can get $60 for free. You want to be a big baller? Put down $500, get $600 for free. Make sure you guys are going out there and betting. I see who's the worst team in the NFL. I'm seeing a lot of Dolphins. Yet the Dolphins just went out and beat the Jets. But you got to go to BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. We're talking about the Jets a little bit more. Jamal Adams, a goner.
Yeah, see,
still talking about this.
Here's the thing. ESPN reports that they think there's a good chance Adams gets dealt because of Jamal Adams' quote-unquote, from ESPN, overreaction to the trade rumors, which, I guess
He's
you can...
not overreacting, if you ask me.
I don't think he is either. Here's the thing. All right. If you are the New York Jets, everyone drink. You cannot let it get out that you're shopping your best player. You just cannot let that happen.
Especially when Jamal met with the team and said, I want to be a Jet.
Like, yeah, the way I understand this is that it went down as Adams like, I want to be here. Like, okay, cool, we won't trade you. And then Adams gets word that they were listening to offers for him. Well, then either say, yeah, we'll listen to offers, but we're not going to trade you, or like, no, tell everyone there is no price. There is a price for Jamal Adams, very clearly.
Is there technically a price for anyone, though?
Yes and no. There is a price for every player, but you typically don't bother listening to the prices that a team would offer, like Aaron Rodgers, because you're not going to
5 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers? I think they would think about
But no one's
going
to offer that. That's the thing. Like, it never gets to that stage.
Okay.
Now, for the Jets, by the way, they are in total control spin mode right now. They leaked out on Sunday that they wanted Zach Martin or Tyron Smith from the Cowboys. I call bullshit. I don't believe that report for a second. For
BS in the comments.
I refuse to believe it for a couple of reasons. Number one, the Cowboys would have hung the phone and not called them back because that's just a dumb trade request. Second off, the two of the most major media markets out to the Cowboys and the Jets were all, Dallas and New York, were all trying to figure out what was going on with this deal. You're telling me nobody figured out what the Jets had asked for initially? Nobody until Sunday morning? I don't buy that. This is spin control by the Jets trying to show Jamal Adams, hey, we're sorry we listened to offers for you. This is how we value you. We value you as one of the best offensive guards, if not the best, as a top 5 offensive tackle. That's how we think about you.
Okay.
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah,
I think he's gone in the offseason.
We're seeing a lot of BSs in the comments section.
He'll demand a trade.
I totally agree with you. So where will Jamal Adams play in 2020? I've always been a big fan of Jamal Adams. I would argue he's a top 5 safety, honestly, right now in the NFL. Over 100 tackles in his rookie season. So where will Jamal Adams play in 2020? We want you guys to comment below. Jason Strickland says Dallas. I'm seeing somebody say BS again. They're still commenting on that.
A lot of BSs.
A lot of BSs. So where will Jamal Adams play in 2020? Throw it in the comments section.
Ravens wanted him, by the way.
Also seeing some Raiders, seeing some more Dallas in 2020. Let's talk about Cam Newton. We've talked about Cam Newton numerous times here on Chat Sports NFL Daily. Is Newton headed to the IR?
There remains a possibility. Now, as you may have heard, Cam Newton went to a foot specialist over the weekend. That came back and it said, no, you don't need surgery, but he continues to recover slowly from this plantar fasciitis, which makes sense. It is a tricky situation to deal with there if you are an NFL player. Sometimes it heals quickly. Amari Cooper. Sometimes it takes the entire year and you're just never quite right until after the season. He hasn't played since week 2. I don't know if he's going to play this year. I think there's a pretty good chance that if we get to 2-3 weeks from now and he hasn't improved, they say, you know what, it's just done. We're going to put him on IR.
I mean, plantar fasciitis is one of those things that kind of feels like you're stepping on glass.
It's
I talked
tricky.
to a doctor when I was doing my Raider show around Tyrell Williams. It's a really, really tricky injury. Luckily, though, Kyle Allen has played well. Well, has he, though? I think the NFL is starting to figure him out a little bit.
This is what happens in a lot of cases for rookie quarterbacks.
And he has 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for the last 2 games.
Especially when they're not playing against the most difficult of opponents early on. That was kind of the case for Kyle Allen. There's clearly a spot for him in the NFL, but he's kind of hit that wall the past 2 games. We'll see how he bounces back. He's struggled overall, but he gives the Panthers a shot to win games. And from your backup quarterback, that is all you can ask out of.
I think Kyle Allen is kind of prove that he can at least be a suitable backup, and he's going to make some money. I don't think that he is a caliber starting quarterback. At least I wouldn't want him on my team. But I think he's proven that, hey, I can be a solid backup. Maybe not Teddy Bridgewater solid, but overall, Tom, I think he's been pretty good.
I think I said plantar fasciitis for Cam. I meant Lisfranc injury, by the way. So I mixed them up. Heel versus midfoot. That's my bad.
All good. All right, so we got a giveaway alert, Tom.
Yes.
You take it away. I'm going to hop on IG.
Super easy. This takes like 3 seconds to go do. If you want a chance to win a free blazer, and everybody needs a free a blazer in their life, at least if you're a guy or a girl, because they make those for you guys too. Go follow Kashiyama Tailors on Instagram. It is at Kashiyama Tailors. If we get to 2,900 during the live show, and I'm checking the math right now, we got over 200 watching, approaching 250. I bet not all of you guys follow Kashiyama. We will give away $25 on Venmo. Earlier this year, what was it, last week, NFL trade deadline time, we gave it away to Jordan Batista. So you guys can get $25 and a chance to win a free blazer. All you got to do is follow Kashiyama Tailors on Instagram. That means you, I Love Food, and Chris Lee, and Timothy, and Isaac. Who's followed recently here, Mitch?
So recently the followers are 215_Tommy. We still got Raphael Rice, 2218. Trip Steak People, they're a recent follower. And then Boss Sanchez 98. Go give Kashiyama a follow on IG right now. I'll give you guys a shout out because we appreciate the people who sponsor or who support our sponsors. Will Parker, shout out to you for just following Kashiyama. Cool. Now let's talk about Andy Dalton, who, what's his future? And Andy, I think the only way he would look good is maybe in a Kashiyama suit.
Well, CBS Sports, Jason looking for, so asterisk, so we're clear, says the Bucs are a fit for Andy Dalton because Bruce Arians doesn't want to spend time developing a quarterback, etc. Jameis Winston is, remember, not under contract next year. Yeah. Also thinks, CBS does, that Andy Dalton could fetch a second rounder in a trade. Thoughts, Mitchell?
Get at it. A second rounder.
I mean, Joe Flacco went for a fourth. How much better is Andy Dalton than Joe Flacco?
I don't think I'd give up a fourth for Joe, and I don't think I'd give up. I wouldn't give up a second.
Yeah, but a fourth went for Flacco. You can't move the goalposts there.
Oh, if you're trading for is Andy Dalton better than Jameis Winston? No. I think Jameis Winston is better than Andy Dalton.
They are,
who's better, Jameis Winston or Andy Dalton? Type D for Dalton or type W for Winston?
They are equally mediocre in different ways.
I agree. Andy Dalton, not going to take risks.
Yeah.
That's not what you need in a Bruce Arians offense.
It's going to a very different car. It's going to like a fancy sports car that never actually works to your car that also never actually works.
I need a new car desperately. I mean, we're seeing a lot of W's in the comments. I think both aren't very good. But I think in order to succeed in a Bruce Arians offense, you need a quarterback that's going to take risks, that's going to throw the ball down the field, and Jameis has done that. Now, yes, he's also turned over the ball a lot, but Andy Dalton, he's not the quarterback I think that would fit in a Buccaneers offense.
No, I don't like the fit for Andy Dalton. Like, he is not a deep ball thrower, and that's what Bruce Arians loves to do. So I actually don't like that fit. I think a team like Tennessee could actually make some sense. Team like maybe Chicago.
I know Ryan Tannehill looked pretty good this past week, Tom.
Yeah,
who's better, Ryan Tannehill or Andy Dalton?
Give me Dalton. That's why I think he goes for a little bit more than what Joe Flacco and Tannehill, which were both about fourth-round picks. Tannehill a little bit less because of other packages. Flacco was a fourth. Maybe it's a fourth and a pick swap that benefits the Bengals. Okay. Maybe that's the route that they go. I think it makes sense. Maybe if it's a late third, I cannot justify spending a top 60 pick on Andy Dalton. That doesn't make sense.
I see in the comments some people are saying Andy Dalton to the Bears. Who's better, Trubisky or Dalton? That's a good question. So we asked this question earlier.
Dalton's not afraid to throw the damn football. That's been Trubisky's issue this year. He's got no confidence in himself.
Well, I mean, can you blame him?
Disaster.
He looks terrible.
I can. He just got to sling it, man. If you're running RPOs, it's one read and throw it, not sit back there for 5 seconds.
All right, so Ryan Cantero's going to go Dalton. Yeah. I love food, but I don't like you.
I agree.
Also goes Dalton. Who's the better quarterback? Type J for Jameis Winston or type D for Andy Dalton? I'll type my J for Jameis. I think Jameis is a better quarterback. Can't say D? I don't know. I'm going to go Jameis.
It reminds me, I tweeted about DK Metcalf this week, and someone tweeted at me, Tom, you can't say DK.
Well, I'll tell you what. This next quarterback...
No DK in the comments.
Has been very impressive, and I'll take him over Jameis Winston, and I'll take him over Andy Dalton. but Jacoby Brissett. What's the latest on the injury? Are the Colts going to go back after Andrew Luck? No, I'm kidding.
Stop it. Don't give me that, because it's going to be for every single team that needs a quarterback next year.
I know.
MRI did reveal an MCL strain. The Colts are optimistic that Jacoby will be able to play against the Dolphins. At the same time,
Do you play him against the
exactly.
Dolphins?
Do you even worry about it like it's the Dolphins?
The Jets are saying, yeah, you do.
Dow is saying, yeah, it's the Jets, you do. I think if you're the Colts, you don't risk it with Jacoby Brissett, because you got more important games coming up the rest of your season.
Also, Brian Hoyer, I think, is actually a pretty solid backup quarterback.
You can win with him.
He's
not going to win you games.
You can beat the Dolphins with Brian Hoyer. So here are the Colts' next 5 games. Dolphins, win. Jags, I think that they're a better team than the Jags. They're too lopsided, but is that the week Nick Foles comes back? Because that was originally when it was reported was week 11.
Maybe.
The Texans, I'll probably give the advantage to the Texans. I think they beat the Titans. And then at the Buccaneers, I think they can win that game too. This Colts team, though, very, very underrated. And I think right now in the playoff picture, playing pretty well.
That week 12, week 13 stretch, maybe even week 11 too, I think is going to be critical. I think you have to win 2 of those 3. And if I know one thing about Tennessee, they'll finish around 500, which means they're probably due for a win.
So those are the Colts' next 5 games. We appreciate everyone who's watching, and make sure you guys subscribe at youtube.com/chatsportstv.